Hello, I'm Brian. Today we'll be digging up the purple potatoes that grow in this bucket. The original potatoes were found at a farmer's market, so we don't know what variety they are. By the looks of them, they look like heirloom potatoes and may very well be the wild potatoes that our domesticated potatoes originated from. So today we'll be digging them out and seeing what we get. The potatoes in this bucket have been ready to be dug out a long time ago. The reason they have been left in here is because there is a watermelon plant that grows in this bucket as well, and we've been waiting for it to ripen. So I think it's ready to be picked now. We'll pick this guy and cut him open and see what it looks like on the inside. There's a tortoise that we have, and he came by and sampled it, and I'm glad he didn't like watermelon. Otherwise he would go all the way through and find the sweet inside. So he doesn't know that it's a watermelon yet. So back to this bucket. Once again, the potatoes were ready to go a couple months ago, and we haven't been able to get to them because of the watermelon plant, and they've started to sprout. Whoa, here's a good one. It's been a while since we've gotten a potato that looks like this. So this is what the potato sort of originally looks like when it came. It's a finger long potato. So this one looks more like a yam. Let's see if we'll find any more like this. Here's another long, slender one. This is the shape that we normally find, the standard potato shape. Here's our harvest for today. This personal size watermelon, and next year we're gonna try to get these watermelons to grow at least a little bit bigger. We'll go for, let's say, half or twice as big, and then hopefully in the year after that, full size. So I can't remember if this is a yellow fleshed watermelon or not, or if this is a Klondike blue stripe watermelon. We'll find out when we cut it open a little bit later. And for our purple potato harvest, this is a pretty good harvest. Normally we get a handful of potatoes only. But this year it looks like, or at least this harvest looks like we have quite a bit, maybe 4 handfuls of purple potatoes, and they're growing back to their finger long shape, something that I'm very excited about. And we have some that have roots that are sprouting, so we're gonna plant them back here, and hopefully when it grows over the winter we'll get really good size potatoes back, because the original potato and these wild potatoes grow in the Andes mountain in Peru, and my guess is the altitude means the weather is cooler, the climate is cooler, so in the cooler weather maybe they'll make finger long potatoes that are about 4 inches and about 1 inch in girth. So really looking forward to seeing how these guys turn out. So hopefully we'll have a video where I have a big grin from cheek to cheek when we dig these guys up. And then the other thing we harvested is some of the really rich soil that's in this bucket that we're going to use for the garlic. With this bucket we're going to relocate it. It's part of a garden reorganization here. The raised planters that you've seen over there, well, they have been these buckets have been replaced by those raised planters as a way to improve the aesthetics and also the function. So we're going to move these buckets elsewhere, and I hope you follow along and see how the garden evolves from season to season in terms of function, aesthetics, and the other considerations. Let's cut open the watermelon first and see what it looks like on the inside. Oh, it's a yellow one. This is our yellow mountain sweet watermelon. We'll slice it long ways so you can see more of it. You'll see purple potato. It's got this kind of a neon glow to it, and purple is usually good for you. There's antioxidant properties in food that has purple, so I like to grow a lot of purple things for the health benefits. Here's one with some roots on it. It's a good size potato to start with. So looks like it started growing this way. I wonder if I want to lay it on its side and let it readjust, or let it go this way. Let's lay it on its side and let it kind of readjust itself. Since we will be hilling the potatoes as they grow, we're not going to fill this back to level just yet. Put in some rock dust. Azomite is the brand, but this is also known as trace minerals. In the coming days, off camera, I'll probably be planting some of these longer ones to see how they grow. In the past, what I did with the initial crop of potatoes when I got them was I cut these into 3 sections and grew the potatoes from those little sections, but I've never grown a potato from one that's full size, and I'm always curious to know what happens when you grow one from full size. So we'll be doing that, and then hopefully there will be positive results to report from that experiment. With 2 potatoes planted, I like to plant a few more so we can get a pretty good harvest next time around as well. I'm in this no man's land area in the garden, and it's no man's land because it's kind of in the corner and there's stuff in front and it's hard to get to, so it doesn't get gardened or planted with stuff. And I think we'll put our potatoes here, the other ones that we want to grow, and since the potatoes don't need a lot of tending to, this is a good spot for it. We'll put them in the ground, we'll work the ground, we'll put them in there, walk away, and when it's time to harvest, we'll come back in here and dig them out. So hopefully we'll get a good harvest next time around. For today, I think we had a pretty good harvest as far as making progress on growing purple potatoes. And until the next time, I'll catch you later. This is a quick progress report on the video where we had to resow fall crops because a 4-legged furry animal came and dug around. So it came back one other time and dug around the back area. I've since filled it back up with a little bit of dirt, but for the most part it didn't disturb any of these things here, any of these plants. After it came back one night, I put these wood slats in between the rows of our Chinese kale, and during the evening I would put them down, and during the day I would take them back off. Sometimes I think leaving them down there actually is helpful because I've noticed that it acts like a mulch and retains the soil moisture. There's another thing that's kind of caught my eye. It looks like there's something tunneling in the soil, so I'm not sure what it is. Looks like it's pretty big because there's a lot of cracks in the soil. I'm not sure if it's a grub or something, but here's some cracks. It looks like it's something tunneling and not soil cracking from being wet and dry and wet and dry. So I'm trying to keep an eye on that. Here's our row of French breakfast radishes. They all sprouted now. So as they get a little bit bigger, we'll thin them out. But more importantly, we'll have to make sure to fill the soil and top them off, because this area, I believe, you don't want exposed. This red portion of the plant, you don't want that exposed to the air and the sun. Next to it is our row of bok choy, and then we have our heavy sowing of cauliflower. So we'll have to start thinning them out as they come out. This is too heavily sowed, because thinning them out may cause problems for them because they're too close together. We may actually disturb the roots of the ones that we want to keep. So let's start doing that now. This is what can happen when you do what I did and sow too densely, and you end up pulling out more than you need to or you want to, and you might pull out the strong plant that you're trying to keep. So, and the next row is our Gailan. We had a tag at the end of the row there, but the critter dug it and moved it out of its place.